Hi, welcome to Foxy Little Nuggets. This is the show that looks at Britain's news and tries to work out if it was written by an adult or by a nervous little intern with a laminated lanyard. Well, I've picked some stories that, gotta be honest, I think this is one of my best scripts so far. I've picked some stories that haven't really made the grand news. It's easy to pick on stories that are very popular. But these ones you might not have seen, or if you're aware of them, you may be not there. But I'm going to pass them off. The "and finally" at the end is brilliant, so do hang around for that. First up, we're going to talk about Keir Starmer. The Prime Minister's approval ratings are now so low that potholes are complaining about overcrowding. Apparently Starmer has reached the point in his leadership where the public, we don't just dislike him, we yearn for that period when we didn't even know who he was. That's how bad it is. Labour, they came in promising stability, competence and grown-up government. And to be fair, they've delivered all three, provided your definition of stability is falling downstairs at the same speed every day. The party is now so divided that even the factions have factions. There's the Starmer faction, the Burnham faction, the Streeting faction, the Please God No Not Rachel Reeves faction, and somewhere in the cupboard is the Peter Mandelson whispering, "Have you considered being more sinister?" I mean, it's not even a joke. I mean, these are serious things. It's just a government holding. It's not a government running this country. It's a government holding us hostage, isn't it? The sooner they go, the better. Anyway, another story that you may not have noticed is Britain is getting the Universal Studios theme park. Now, I happen to know this because I used to live in Bedfordshire, and that's where it's going to be, in Bedfordshire. And it's finally, isn't it, a major international entertainment brand looked at Britain and thought, this place needs more fantasy. The government is backing it. There's a £1.3 billion of infrastructure backing from the government because, I suppose they're probably thinking it gives us something to point at and said, we done that. The only trouble is it's going to take so long to build, it'll be reform, it'll be Nigel Farage cutting the tape, which is great, isn't it? On the other hand, you could argue it's just what Britain needs, more queues, Universal says the resort could create thousands of jobs and bring in millions of visitors. Splendid, it will, it undoubtedly will. Although, to be honest, it'll be hard to tell where the theme park ends and the rest of the country begins, because if you want roller coasters, well, we've got gilt yields. If you want horror attractions, open up your tax bill or your energy bill, If you want fantasy lands, well, welcome to the Treasury growth forecasts. And the scariest ride of all is Rachel Reeves' magical tax tunnel. You enter with a wallet and leave with a lesson in social democracy. Well, even so, I'm still glad that Bedford's getting this theme park. Gives the Midlands something to shout about, doesn't it? Other than we're not quite London, Yeah. OVO, talking of energy bills, which it was, OVO Energy is paying, and this is amazing, it's more than £10 million in fines after Ofgem found failures in how it handled the vulnerable prepayment meter customers. Basically, it's a shady corporation doing shady things, apparently, allegedly. They have bills to camp. Now, this is. It's not the first time that they've done this, right? Because energy companies are very, very complicated beasts, but they have beasts. They beasts. We talk about. They have bills to calculate, meters to monitor, vulnerable customers to support, and of course executives to sit in meetings saying the customer journey, whatever that means, while someone's granny is boiling one kettle a week and sitting in the cold dark room hoping that death takes them quietly. Prepayment meters are already grim, and I think they should be made illegal. That's my personal view. They turn heating into a pay-as-you-shiver service, and when vulnerable customers are not properly monitored, that is not a spreadsheet problem. This is a moral failure, and they can end up dying. OVO says it's improved its policies and training, which is good, because we have learned lessons is the standard go-to when these things go wrong. It's now how especially councils mumble their apologies, isn't it? It works for energy firms as well, and police forces, apparently. They're learning lessons. But, it's standing next to the smoking gun and saying this is actually part of our long-term plans. Doesn't really ring true. Actually, the public would like fewer lessons learned and more things done properly in the first place. But, it's a radical idea, I know, but I think it might work if they finally did their job properly. And finally, and I told you this is the one that's worth waiting for, because it is, some good news. Orcas have been seen off the UK coast in numbers that haven't been spotted for years, with one even performing acrobatic flips for delighted tourists. And at last, we have intelligent mammals. They've arrived, looked at Britain and decided not to run it. There's been a whole pod, I think is the term, isn't it, of killer whales have appeared off the coast, and it is genuinely magnificent. I mean, good-looking thing. Powerful, graceful, social, highly intelligent. Basically everything missing from the House of Commons. Got better teeth, too. There's something properly, I think, uplifting about this, because while Westminster sits there arguing, energy firms are apologising, and the economy makes noises like a 1971 Vauxhall Viva trying to start on a cold morning, nature occasionally taps us on the shoulder and reminds us how wonderful it can be. It says, look, the world is still absolutely amazing. We should embrace this. So, if you like them, go down and see them if they're still there. You've got to be quick, I think. They're just passing through. But amazing that they'll even come in the first place, isn't it? But let's draw there to a close. Not, I'm afraid, with a ministerial statement, not with another inquiry, not with a focus group deciding Churchill was problematic, which he wasn't, and not with the singing of the mantra of lessons will be learned, and then they never are. Let's end with orcas leaping freely from British waters, and the proof that there is still beauty, there is still wonder, and there is still intelligence around these islands. Admittedly, most of it is in the sea, offshore, and swimming away. I'm off now. I hope you enjoy this. I'm going to watch the England-New Zealand match. Fingers crossed. Let me know what you think. Thanks very much, my wonderful viewers, and I will speak to you later. Bye.